So I've added a final piece to the API here, and I want to do this to demonstrate a couple things. One is that Claudia also receives a request object, which of course you can use to parse a body or get a query string or get headers or anything you need from the particular API request. In this case, I'm grabbing a property called code off the query string, and I want to show how the API responses work in case you want to have a different kind of API response. So this is derived from the actual API you create with the API builder, and then it's .api response, and it creates an instance of that. And then this is your payload, and then here's your headers, and then your status code is the last one. So in this case, I'm just making it so you can set your status code for the error. And this is the way you can return errors of different kinds of statuses, and then you can also have some kind of standard message format. And we want to update that so we actually have it. I've got a new script I'm going to talk about in just a second. So we just ran the last update. Let's do this one real quick. Same process, pretty quick to update the API. Okay, so let's take a look at that URL. We've still got our landing, text, return. If we go to /error, and the code is, let's go with 400. So that's the derived message, but let's also take a look at the console, and it looks like we got a 400 status code. So this is actually a way to receive errors and also receive arguments. So once again, a lot like Express, really easy to use, and you can send back any message you want, but any message that's not explicitly defined as to be having this status is going to just go back as a 200 and use the content type that Claudia expects it to have. So the last thing I want to talk about was this destroy option. Destroy is the way to get rid of an existing deployment if you want to do a clean create. There could be any number of reasons for this, and what it's going to do is it's going to destroy that deployment based on the JSON file, which is no longer there either. So it's even going to delete that JSON. All record of that is gone, and we'll be able to then run create and deploy again. Now, when we do this, we're going to recreate everything. That means the users, the Lambda functions, everything on AWS, and then we're going to get a new URL as well. So if your team is relying on some kind of persistent testing URL or something, you got to be careful with doing destroys and creates. But this is nice for maybe when you've messed around with configurations too much and you just want to be immutable about it and get rid of a version of the API. So here's our new one. It should be up in a few seconds if there's no lag. And you can see we got our API up again, and it also put the Claudia.json file right back in the directory.